Hey, dear Tyler, good morning. How are you doing? And I really hope you're good. I hope you're fine. It's a new week, and I hope it's been going on well. At least it started well, right? It started yesterday and everything, but I really hope it's been fine and it's been good. You're really motivated and all. Thank you so much for your feedback on the series so far. I'm really, really glad that it's breaking down a whole lot of walls for us. We're learning new things, uh, especially the part of forgiving ourselves for the things that we've done, the mistakes that we've made, and everything like that. It's really it's a blessing to know that God has made provision for us for quite a lot of things, right? And uh, the blessedness of knowing that we could also extend that mercy not just to others but then also to ourselves. It's really, really amazing, right? Forgiveness, like I said from the beginning when we started the whole series, it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. I do not want you to trivialize it. For every heart that you give, for every heart that you forgive, for every person that you pardon, you've done a major, major thing for the life of the individual and then also for your own life, right? For your own life. And so, firstly, we spoke about I forgive you, how we took out time to understand what forgiveness really is, and the fact that we should be able to extend mercy to other people. The dangers of offense, blocking us from knowledge, blocking us from help, blocking us from faith, blocking us from peace of mind, and then the benefits, how um, our forgiveness really affects us, and then how we should also move to the next level. That was the next episode on I Forgive Me, how it's important that we also extend that hand of mercy to ourselves. Now, today we're going to be discussing the topic Once Upon a Time, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. So there was this song that I wrote a long time ago in my songwriting journey. Probably I wrote this song maybe 2008, 2009. I even did like a little soundtrack for the song. I had this nice concept for it, going to do a music video, me and one lady like that. It was really nice, but alas, today is going to be the first time you hear it. And the title of the song is Once Upon a Time. God used it to teach me forgiveness to a certain extent, right? God used it to teach me forgiveness to a certain extent. So I'm going to sing it for us. Um, so the next thing you're going to hear is the song, and then after that, I'll come back and just give a little discussion on the topic, and then we'll call it a day, right? So, yeah, enjoy as you listen to an original song by Binga titled Once Upon a Time. I've been flipping the pages of my life, and I've noticed how much I've always let you down instead of living right. Now I really understand the truth, that every moment, time, and second was a lie. Well, it's time to get up and be a man. Been unfaithful to you right from the very day I told you that I do. I know deep inside you'll find it hard to believe, but it's all the past. Please listen and forgive. It was once upon a time. It was once upon a time. A lady. seem so hard for you, God, she understands well. You're standing in front of me, confessing all and telling me the truth. But my heart is heavy and so cold, because my story ain't so different from that of yours. For 10 years you've called Alan the one. Oh, that's my boy. Well, the truth still remains, that boy is not even your son. I'm sorry, I know deep inside you'll find it hard to believe, but it's all the past, please listen and forgive. It was once upon a time. It was once upon a time. So what we're gonna do? We've got to leave the past behind before we break up. Resolve our issues in the best of times and make up. We've got to own up for the wrongs that we have done before our children even know what's going on. I know forgiveness ain't so easy all the time, but to err is being human. Forgiveness is divine. God's gonna see us through it all, no matter the times we fall. His love is always saying, when you fall, I'll be your anchor when you call. I'll be your guide through all your storms, and it don't matter the things you've done. My love for you has overcome the world, and when the devil shifts the blame, remember you can call on Jesus' name, 'cause all your sins are far behind. They're just once upon a time. They're just once upon a time. Hey, Tyler. So, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the song. It's a really, really old song, and it's more of like a keyboard kind of song. It's not the kind of song that I should play on the guitar, but apparently I don't have a keyboard available, and it's yeah. So I just had to use the guitar. So pray for me that I'll be able to get a keyboard, because there are a whole lot of other songs that I'd love to share. So we kind of like have songs that are like keyboard songs that go better with the guitar, you know. Story of a songwriter. Anyway, that's not what it's about. So I really hope you enjoyed the song, and I'll just give like a short recap on the song just in case you didn't get to hear the lyrics properly. So the song is about a couple, right, husband and wife, and they're kind of like having their confession moment, right, talking about things that have happened over time. And so it starts with the man, and he's like, I've been flipping the pages of my life, and I've noticed how much I've always let you down instead of living right. Now I really understand the truth that every moment, time, and second was a lie. Now it's time to get up and be a man. I've been unfaithful to you right from the very day that I told you that I do. And I know deep inside you find it hard to believe, but it's all the past. Please listen and forgive. It was also upon a time. And so in the music video that was meant to be that year, the lady's meant to kind of like show, shock and everything, but then he's begging and he's like, it was once upon a time. It was once upon a time. And so the lady now responds, I know it may seem so hard for you. And so the guy kind of like shows this elation, like, Father, thank God she understands. Right? So that's what he responds. God, she understands. So she now says, you're standing in front of me, confessing all and telling me the truth, but my heart is heavy and so cold because my story ain't so different from that of yours. And so the guy feels like, okay, so maybe it's infidelity too. And then she's like, for 10 years you've called Alan the one. And then he's like, oh, that's my boy. And so that's going to be like their first child and everything. Then she now confesses, but the truth still remains that boy is not even your son. So he's like, what? And then she's like, I'm sorry. I know deep inside you find it hard to believe. But it's all the past. Please listen and forgive. It was once upon a time. The guy wants to also react again. And then she now calls him back. It was once upon a time. And so he now asks, so what we're going to do? No, she asks, so what are we going to do? And then he's like, we've got to leave the past behind before we break up. She responds, resolve our issues in the best of times and make up. And then he responds, he said, we've got to own up for the wrong that we have done. She responds, before our children even know what's going on. Then together, I know forgiveness ain't so easy all the time, but to err is being human. Forgiveness is divine. God's going to see us through it all, no matter the times we fall. His love is always saying, when you fall, I'll be your anchor. When you call, I'll be your guide through all your storms. And it don't matter the things you've done. My love for you has overcome the world. And when the devil shifts the blame, remember, you can call on Jesus' name. Because all your sins are far behind. They're just once upon a time. Right, so, so that's the song. A very short summary. Not short, but quick summary of the song, rather. Right, so, now if you notice from the story, they basically had the same issues, infidelity issues. He had been cheating on her from the moment that they said I do. So only God knows what happened. Maybe he had a fling with somebody the night before, but he had confessed about his infidelity issues, and he was seeking forgiveness. She was being offended, but then when she realized she had her own story, she now opened up, and everybody would be like, the gravity of hers is worse. No, it was infidelity. Men can't get pregnant. So there's no real consequence per se, no physical consequence per se for them, but then it's still the same sin, still the same infidelity issues. Do you understand? And it's just a song, so only God knows. Maybe he has a son too, somewhere else with another woman from one of his little escapades and all. Right? And so he wanted to be angry, and she was like, but guy, it's once upon a time. And then they go through the whole thing and trying to resolve it. Now, the concept of once upon a time talks about something that has happened way back, right? A long period of time. Now, the thing about that phrase is that it brings about a historical fact, but doesn't have to be a present reality. A historical fact doesn't have to be a present reality. It's usually when you hear lines like once upon a time, it means that they're trying to make you draw lessons from that, right? But you're not using it to define moments in your life, right? They're just lessons that you're learning. Now, imagine if we are able to look at each other, right, from the things that we've done, the things that we've said, the things that we've experienced, and we look at it and we're like, it was just once upon a time. Imagine how it would make life a lot easier. This was once upon a time. Oh, I know that you did this, right? But that's not you at the moment, right? That's not you at the moment. Oh, you had the past of this. Oh, you had a criminal record before, or something like that. That doesn't make you a criminal, right? You just had a record of doing criminal acts before, but that doesn't make you a criminal, right? That was just once upon a time. Remember, I shared about the whole. I shared last week about the whole concept of forgiving yourself. Things that have happened, they don't define you, right? Carry out this exercise for yourself. Pick out the things that you feel that are really weights in your life, right? And say, this was once upon a time. Once upon a time, I failed maths. Really, I'm particularly quite good at math, right? Once upon a time, I failed math. Once upon a time, I tried frying egg without oil, right? So if you listen to my story, um, hey, about is it the memoirs of a wannabe chef? I think it's the memoirs of a wannabe chef or the diary of a wannabe chef or something. I spoke about all of the mistakes I've made in cooking, like how can you fry something without oil? It's no longer frying; you are literally setting it on fire. Um, yeah, but that was once upon a time. Once upon a time, I had fear of water, right? So like I could freak out, but that's like once upon a time. I'd failed exams before. I remember my last chemistry exam in secondary school. I got 9.5 over 40. But that was once upon a time. I ended up passing WAEC, right, to the glory of God. Once upon a time, in physics, I had 66 over 180 something. But that's once upon a time. Once upon a time, there were certain things I couldn't do. It's not me now. It's not me now. It's not me now. Oh, this person had a record, or the person had a nasty past or something. So you have to be careful with them. That was what once upon a time. You see, it becomes a lot easier to relate with people when you take their past for what it is. It's the past. It's just a story. Especially when the person is on a journey of correcting maybe certain things that they've done. The person is on a journey of trying to become a better person. You could see that the person is making sincere efforts to become better, right? It's horrible. It's horrible when you bring the past back to people. So in the Bible, Moses asks to see the face of God, and God is like, no one can see my face and live, but I'll show you my back and I'll let my goodness pass before you. And theologians and we in the body of Christ, I believe it too, that when God showed Moses his back, right, he saw Genesis and he was able to give the account of all of Genesis creation and all. Now, I remember I was just meditating on it, and Spirit of God, ministered to me, and he shared something. He was like, Binga, for anybody to be able to use your past to judge you, they would literally have to turn me from my throne and make my back face you. But as long as I am facing you, your past is always behind me. Your past is always, always, always behind me. I am looking at you. I'm not looking behind me. So what I see is you. The you that you can be, the you that you're working to be, not the you that has done this, not the you that has done now. I'm in the now for you, and I'm in the future for you. That's what I'm focusing on, right? And it's the same message God is telling you, Tyler, right? That's what he's focusing on. He's focusing on the now for you. He's focusing on the future for you. And he's telling you, do the same for other people. Focus on the now. Focus on the future. People come up with a nasty past. People come up with, really, really degrading circumstances. That's the past, the woman that had 5 husbands living with another person that was not her husband. Jesus did not make it a topic in her life. Do you understand? That was the past. And looking at you now, and what he did to her broke her so much that she was able. This is somebody that should be living with shame. Do you understand? But then she went around and told people about said, okay, let me show you a man that told me all that I had ever done. You understand? But then the encounter that she had was beyond just him being prophetic, right? But then I believe something a lot deeper must have happened with the encounter. Peter was He betrayed Jesus. Do you understand? That was an event, like I said before, became a mighty apostle. Paul was a persecutor of Christians, right? Of believers. He killed a lot of people. He put a lot of people in prison. But that was once upon a time. That was a story. That was an event in his life. And he became a mighty apostle. You see the whole lot of stories of men of God or people that were used mightily by the Lord. Smith Wigglesworth was into drinking. That was once upon a time. He allowed God to help redefine the stories of his life. There are just quite a lot of other people. There's this guy that acted in Desperado. He also acted Machete, I think, or so, some movies like that. He was a he was a real gang leader or something, and he went into acting. His gang leadership was once upon a time, and he was able to make something out of his today. He was able to do what? Make something out of his today. So yesterday, Tyler, was once upon a time. Remember when Paul said that forgetting those things that are behind, I press on towards the mark. Yesterday was once upon a time. Missed opportunities, things that you did well, things you did, all of it, right, is once upon a time. You must rewrite the stories of your life with the time that you're given. There is absolutely nothing you can do about the stories, about the things that you've done before. You can't erase it from history. It happened. But they are not defining moments, Tyler, right? They are not defining moments. It happened. So it's very important. So just like the couple in the song, right? We've got to leave the past behind before we break up. Because the more that they dwell on that past, right, the more it severs the relationship that they have. There's already a pending issue. There's already a challenge, right? So the more they dwell on it, right, it's really, really going to cause an issue. So we've got to leave the past behind before we break up. Resolve our issues in the best of times and make up. The goal is to make up. Yes, we've all messed up. We've all done wrong things. But the goal is that we could still prove and we could still show that God can make a happy family out of brokenness. For the fact that we did wrong, for the fact that we messed up, both of us, doesn't mean we have to shatter or scatter the relationship. Now we can. What did I say? We can make the best out of this relationship. And that's what they're doing. You get, and you see, the truth in life, right, is that people don't even need to know stuff. So it's not like you owe anybody an explanation about maybe you're in like a family, you and your spouse are having some challenges. You don't have to necessarily tell the whole world that, okay, we went through. Nah, that's a personal story. And that's why that part of the song came. We've got to own up for the wrongs that we have done, right? Before our children even know what's going on. I hurt you, you hurt me, right? We are the ones that need to fix things up. We don't need to bring in third parties or bring in other people, right? And make them suffer for the decisions that we made. No, we can fix it together. It was once upon a time. And so peradventure, even other people, bring up stories about loved ones, friends, people in the body of Christ, or people around, colleagues, right? And they're like, do you know Binga has done this before? Or do you know that Tyler has done this before? You could, boldly imbibe the same culture and be like, yeah, I know, but it was once upon a time. And that time is not now. They did it, I can't change it. They did it, they can't change it. But they're making the best of today. They are making the best of today. It's very, very important, right? Like I said. So remember the last week I was like, tell yourself, I forgive myself, right? If any of these things pop up again in your life, or any of these issues, just respond with, yeah, that was once upon a time. This person did this. Yeah, that was once upon a time. I remember something. Yeah, that was once upon a time. That was once upon a time. Even down to like ethnic, issues, or some certain things that were tried to be forced um, into some certain wars. In fact, no, that was once upon a time, right? That was once upon a time. So I really hope that this blessed you. Remember, right? Your past does not define you. It only describes an event in your life, right? So your mistakes, issues, challenges, your own story once upon a time. So take out this time and rewrite your destiny. Write what you want to see. Write what you want to see. Write what you want to see. Rewrite it, right? On Thursday, I'll be sharing something really, really great to us, right? So it's going to be like a continuation for this, right? Do your best to always share this with others, right? Share this with others. I believe it's going to bless a whole lot of lives. So let's keep on sharing, right? Yeah. So remember, I believe in you. I love you. And I'm always rooting for you. Have an awesome day, Tyler. Bye.